You are not reading this text. You are not holding a phone. You are not sitting in a room. Statistically speaking, the life you think you are living is a mathematical error. The laws of physics suggest that you are something else entirely, something much lonelier. Welcome to the Boltzmann Brain Paradox. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is a direct consequence of the second law of thermodynamics. It suggests that your entire existence, your memories, your family, this very moment is a random hallucination in a dying universe. To understand why you might not exist, we must understand entropy. Entropy is the arrow of time. It states that order always decays into disorder. A glass shatters, but it never reassembles. Coffee cools down, but never heats up spontaneously. The universe is a machine that destroys structure. It wants to move from complexity to chaos. This final state of total disorder is called thermal equilibrium. It is the natural destiny of everything. A boring, uniform soup of particles with no life and no memory. Now look around you. You are in a state of incredibly low entropy. Your brain is complex. The earth is organized. The stars are burning engines. We are living in a universe of order. According to the laws of probability, this is absurd. The odds of a universe starting in such a highly ordered state, the Big Bang, are practically zero. Sir Roger Penrose calculated this probability. It is 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123. This number is so large, the human mind cannot comprehend it. If you wrote a 0 on every single atom in the observable universe, you still wouldn't have enough space to write the full number. That is how unlikely your existence is. So why are we here? Why isn't the universe just a dead, chaotic gas cloud? This is where Ludwig Boltzmann enters the story. In the 19th century, he realized that the order we see is a freak accident. He proposed that the universe is mostly dead. It is an equilibrium. It is an eternal, dark void. But in an infinite amount of time, even a dead universe will twitch. Atoms will randomly collide. Usually, they form nothing. Sometimes they form a gas cloud. But if you wait an eternity, they might accidentally arrange themselves into something organized. A fluctuation. Think of it like shuffling a deck of cards. If you shuffle forever, eventually, by pure chance, you will shuffle the cards into perfect numerical order. The atoms in the void are the cards, and you are the perfect order. Here is the trap. Probability favors simplicity. It is infinitely easier to accidentally create something small than to accidentally create something big. Creating a whole universe with billions of galaxies requires a massive fluctuation. Creating just one single solar system requires a smaller fluctuation. Creating just one planet is even more likely. But what is the absolute smallest fluctuation required to experience reality? It doesn't need to create a body. It doesn't need to create legs or eyes or the sun. It only needs to create the organ that perceives them. It only needs to create a brain. A brain complete with false memories. A brain that thinks it has a past. A brain that thinks it is reading a script about science. A brain that thinks it has been alive for years, when it was actually created 1 second ago. This is the Boltzmann brain. The theory states that it is overwhelmingly more likely that you are a lone brain that spontaneously formed in the void than a human being with a real evolutionary history. The math is brutal. It says that for every real universe that exists, there should be trillions of solitary brains floating in the void. hallucinating a universe. And probability dictates that you are almost certainly one of them. Your childhood? Fake. Your family? Random neurons firing. This video? A hallucination. The scary part is, you cannot prove me wrong. Any evidence you show me, a photo, a fossil, a memory, could just be part of the fluctuation. You are trapped in a solipsistic nightmare. You are the only thing that exists. And the worst part is not that you are alone. The worst part is what happens next. Because these fluctuations are unstable, they are temporary spikes in entropy. A Boltzmann brain does not evolve. It appears, it hallucinates, and then it dissolves back into the chaos. You might have 1 second left, or 1 hour, but the equilibrium is coming back to claim you. In the next part, we will explore the false memory. How can you trust your past if your brain was made yesterday? You trust your memory. You believe you had breakfast this morning. You believe you went to school as a child. You believe you have a name. But scientifically, a memory is just a specific arrangement of atoms in your brain right now. It is physical. It is chemistry. If I arrange the atoms in a pile of mud to look exactly like a fossil, you would think a dinosaur died there millions of years ago. But it didn't. The history is fake. Only the structure is real. Your brain is that pile of mud. The memories are there, but the events never happened. This leads us to the terrifying concept of last Thursdayism. It is the philosophical idea that the entire universe might have been created last Thursday, or 5 minutes ago, or 1 second ago, but it was created with the appearance of age. It was created with rust on the cars, with wrinkles on your face, and with memories in your head. There is absolutely no way to prove this didn't happen. Any evidence you point to, a photograph, a scar, a diary, was also created 1 second ago, perfectly aged to fool you. The Boltzmann brain theory takes this to the extreme. If you are a random fluctuation, you didn't just pop into existence with a blank mind. You popped into existence with a fully formed narrative. You are mid-sentence in a life that never started. Think about a dream. When you wake up in a dream, you never ask, "How did I get here?" You just accept the context. You accept that you are running, or flying, or talking. The Boltzmann brain is a dream that hasn't woken up yet. The backstory is generated on the fly to explain your current state. Consider the sensation of déjà vu, that glitchy feeling where you think, "I have been here before." Neuroscience says it's a mismatch in memory processing, but in this context, it takes on a darker meaning. What if déjà vu is the moment the fluctuation stutters? What if it is the loading screen? It is the moment the random atoms fail to perfectly construct the next second of the illusion, and you catch a glimpse of the scaffolding behind the reality. We assume the past causes the present. This is called causality. You are watching this video because you clicked on it. But in a chaotic universe dominated by entropy, causality breaks down. The most likely explanation for your current state is not a long chain of cause and effect. The most likely explanation is a quantum jump. You simply arrived here, without a journey, without a choice. The past is not a solid foundation. It is a story your brain tells itself to make sense of the absurdity of existence. Let's look at the thermodynamics again. It requires an immense amount of energy to keep a human body organized for 80 years. It requires food, water, sunlight. It is an expensive battle against entropy. Nature hates expensive things. Nature loves cheap. A Boltzmann brain that exists for 5 seconds and then dies is cheap. It requires very little energy compared to a full human life. Therefore, short life is statistically dominant over long life. If you exist, you are likely a short-life spark, not a long-burning fire. This implies that your future is just as fake as your past. You are not going to finish this video. You are not going to go to sleep tonight. The fluctuation is unstable. It is a house of cards in a hurricane. At any moment, the entropy will reclaim you. The atoms will disperse. The brain will freeze. The hallucination will end. And you will return to the equilibrium. The screen goes black not because the video ended, but because you ended. But wait, if you are a Boltzmann brain, are you alone? The theory suggests that for every real observer, there are infinite fake ones. This creates a multiverse of madness. Somewhere in the void, there's another brain exactly like yours, but it remembers wearing a red shirt today. Somewhere else, there is a brain that remembers being Napoleon. Every possible false memory exists somewhere in the eternal chaos. You are just one specific permutation of the madness. You are not a person. You are a coordinate in the chaos. This brings us to the solipsism trap. Solipsism is the idea that only your own mind is sure to exist. Everything else, other people, the stars, the atoms, might be a projection. Boltzmann's equation forces us to take solipsism seriously. If other people are real, they require their own low entropy states. That increases the cost of the universe. It is exponentially more unlikely for two people to exist than for one. The math screams that you are the only passenger on this ship. Everyone else is a non-player character generated by your mind. So, if your memories are fake, what are you? You are an observer, a pure point of consciousness witnessing the momentary scene. You are not the main character of a story. You are the audience of a 1-second clip. And this clip is about to end. But before it does, we need to ask, is there any way to escape? Is there any evidence that proves we are not Boltzmann brains? In part 3, we will try to fight the math. We will look for the exit door. If we accept the Boltzmann brain hypothesis, we run into a logical wall. It is called cognitive instability. The theory relies on our knowledge of physics, entropy, and the Big Bang. But if we are Boltzmann brains, our memories of physics are false hallucinations. This creates a paradox. If the theory is true, then the scientific data used to prove the theory is fake. It is a snake eating its own tail. We cannot use the laws of physics to prove that our knowledge of physics is a lie. This implies that the theory might be self-defeating, but it doesn't make it less scary. Physicists like Sean Carroll have tried to fight this monster. They argue that for the theory to be wrong, our universe must not be a fluctuation. It must be the standard state. This requires us to rethink the Big Bang, not as a rare accident, but as a common event. If the universe is eternal and constantly birthing new baby universes, then normal observers, like us, hopefully would vastly outnumber the freak observers, Boltzmann brains. We need to believe that we are the rule, not the exception. But hope is not math. Let's look at the evidence of decay. If you were a spontaneous brain formed a second ago, your environment should look chaotic. But when we look at protons, atoms, and stars, we see a consistent history of aging. The universe looks old. A Boltzmann brain scenario usually creates the minimum required illusion: a simple room, a blurry background. But our universe is hyper-detailed. We can see galaxies billions of light years away. Why would a random fluctuation waste so much energy rendering a backdrop that no one needs to see? We must invoke Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one, which is simpler. 1. A universe evolved over 13.8 billion years to produce life. Or 2. A random quantum accident perfectly assembled a brain with false memory of 13.8 billion years. Surprisingly, the math suggests option 2 is simpler in terms of entropy. It takes less luck to make a brain than a universe. Occam's razor might actually cut against us here. The absurd scenario is thermodynamically cheaper than the sane one. This leads to the dissident space problem. Our universe is expanding. Eventually, all stars will die, and we will enter an era of eternal darkness. This dark era will last forever. In that infinite darkness, the only things popping into existence will be Boltzmann brains. If the future is infinite, and the era of life is short, then 99.99% of all observers who will ever exist will be lonely brains in the void. Statistically, you should be one of them. To be a biological human in the primordial era of the universe is like winning the lottery. Touch the table in front of you. Feel the texture. A hallucination is usually unstable. In dreams, text changes when you look away. Clocks have no hands. But this reality is persistent. It is stubborn. If you leave a book on the table and come back an hour later, it is still there. This object permanence is our best defense. A random fluctuation shouldn't be this stable. It should dissolve or shift. The consistency of reality suggests a deep underlying structure, not a random accident. Unless the fluctuation is bigger than just you. Maybe the brain isn't just your head. Maybe the brain is the solar system. Maybe the fluctuation accidentally created a local bubble of stability around you to keep the illusion convincing. This is the solipsist bubble. The universe might be chaos 1 light year away, but you can't see that far. You are living in a tiny pocket of order surrounded by an ocean of fire, and the walls of the bubble are slowly closing in. Science is fundamentally based on the assumption that we are not being tricked. If we cannot trust our observations, science dies. We assume we are typical observers. If we are Boltzmann brains, we are atypical. If we accept the theory, we have to stop doing astronomy. We have to stop doing physics, because we are studying a hallucination. So physicists choose to reject the Boltzmann brain not because it's impossible, but because it's cognitively unstable. We reject it to stay sane. But ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. The math is still there. The second law is still there. The paradox remains a dark shadow over cosmology. It suggests that our understanding of the Big Bang is missing the crucial piece. We are missing the selection principle, something that forces the universe to create real observers instead of fake ones. Without that missing piece, the equation says you are a ghost. We have tried to disprove it with logic. We have tried to disprove it with philosophy, but the ghost is still in the room. In the next part, we will stop fighting the theory and start exploring the glitch. If this is a simulation or a fluctuation, are there cracks in the wall? Can we see the pixels of the hologram? If the universe is a hallucination generated by a random fluctuation, it shouldn't be perfect. It should have rendering errors. It should have limits. And when we look closely at quantum mechanics, that is exactly what we find. The universe behaves strangely like a video game engine that only renders what the player is looking at. This is the observer effect. In the double-slit experiment, particles behave like waves when we aren't watching, and like solid matter when we are. It implies that reality is not solid until an observer forces it to be. The fluctuation saves energy by leaving the unobserved parts undefined. We also have a pixel size. It is called the Planck length. You cannot divide space infinitely. There is a hard limit, a minimum unit of distance, 1.6 x 10 to 35 meters. Below this, physics breaks down. It is the resolution limit of the screen. Why would a physical universe have a resolution limit? A continuous reality should be infinitely divisible. But a digital simulation, or a calculated fluctuation, must have a smallest unit of data to save processing power. We are living in a grid, not a fluid. Then there is the speed limit. Nothing can travel faster than light. Why? In a physical universe, infinite speed should be possible. But in a computer, information cannot travel instantly across the motherboard. There is latency. The speed of light might just be the processing speed of the Boltzmann brain's hallucination. It creates a delay between cause and effect. It prevents the system from crashing by ensuring that events happen in a sequence, not all at once. And what about memory errors? Millions of people share the same false memories. We call it the Mandela effect. We remember a cornucopia on a fruit logo that never existed. We remember a movie line that was never spoken. Psychologists say it's just confabulation, but in the context of the Boltzmann brain, it is a data corruption. It is a shared file error in the fluctuation. We all remember the wrong version because the random arrangement of atoms copied the same error into multiple hypothetical brains. Theoretical physicist James Gates claims to have found error-correcting code in the equations of string theory. These are specific block codes used in computers to fix data transmission errors. Why would the fundamental fabric of reality contain computer code designed to fix bugs? Unless the reality is susceptible to bugs, unless the fluctuation is constantly trying to repair itself to keep the illusion stable before entropy tears it apart. Biocentrism suggests that the universe doesn't exist outside of your perception. Does the kitchen exist when you are in the bedroom, or is it just stored in the hard drive? The Boltzmann brain theory supports this efficiency. It generates the room you are in with high detail. It generates the rest of the house with low detail. And it generates the rest of the universe as a flat 2D background image. You will never catch it buffering, because the moment you turn your head, it renders the new scene. Think about dreams. In a dream, you can read a book, but if you look away and look back, the text changes. The brain cannot maintain object permanence for long. In our reality, things are stable, but are they? Quantum particles pop in and out of existence. Virtual particles appear from nothing and vanish. The vacuum of space is seething with energy fluctuations. The bedrock of our reality is not solid rock. It is a foaming, bubbling ocean of uncertainty. We are looking for Easter eggs, messages left by the fluctuation. Some constants in nature are fine-tuned to an impossible degree. If the strong nuclear force were 0.001% weaker, stars wouldn't form. If gravity were slightly stronger, the universe would collapse. This is the anthropic principle. The universe seems perfectly designed for us to observe it. Is it luck, or is it because this specific fluctuation requires an observer to exist? The parameters are set to life mode because without life, there is no brain to hallucinate the parameters. If we are glitches, we are fragile. A system error usually leads to a crash. The great filter might not be nuclear war or climate change. The great filter might be the system resetting. Every moment you continue to exist is a statistical miracle. You are defying the odds of entropy. But the house always wins. The error cannot persist forever. The code must eventually resolve back to zero. We have looked at the glitch. We have looked at the math. Now we must face the darkness. If the Boltzmann brain theory is true, what happens when the illusion ends? What happens when the fluctuation dissolves? Now we will explore the dissolution, the terrifying concept of the universe vanishing mid-sentence, and the loneliness of the single mind in the void. Every fluctuation has a price. To create order out of chaos requires energy. It creates a temporary debt against the second law of thermodynamics. And the universe always collects its debts. The Boltzmann brain is an expensive anomaly. It is burning fuel at a rapid rate to maintain the illusion of consciousness. This means the existence of a Boltzmann brain is inherently unstable. It is not a steady state like a rock. It is a volatile state like an explosion. We are not living. We are exploding in slow motion, and the fuel is running out. The dissolution is not a possibility. It is a mathematical certainty. How does it end? It won't be a grand apocalypse. There will be no credits rolling. It will likely happen mid-thought. One moment, you are thinking about tomorrow's breakfast. The next moment, the neurons responsible for the concept of tomorrow simply disperse back into the void. It is a silent erasure. The complexity of your mind will unravel. The false memories of your childhood will detach first. Then your name, then the sensation of the chair beneath you. You will be stripped of your identity piece by piece, as the entropy reclaims the borrowed atoms. This is the ultimate horror of solipsism. If you are the only thing that exists, then when you die, the universe dies. The sun, the stars, the people you love, they are all generated by your mind. When your consciousness flickers out, the lights of the universe turn off. Imagine a theater where the projector bulb burns out. The movie stops, the characters vanish, the screen goes black. You are both the audience and the projector. The tragedy is not just your death. It is the genocide of an entire reality that lived only inside your head. We return to thermal equilibrium. The natural state of the cosmos is cold, uniform, and dead. Your brief moment of consciousness was a fever dream in a coma, a momentary spike on a flat line. The universe is correcting the mistake. The atoms that make up your brain will drift apart. They will forget they were ever part of a thinking machine. They will float in the void for eternity, waiting for another fluctuation that might not happen for another googolplex years. You are returning to the soup. Time itself is a victim of the dissolution. Time only exists where there is change, where there is entropy increasing. In the equilibrium, there is no time. There is no before or after. There's only a static now that never changes. As the Boltzmann brain dissolves, time will become meaningless. The subjective experience of duration will collapse. The last second of your existence might feel like an eternity, or it might feel like nothing at all. You are stepping out of the stream of time and into the ocean of stillness. The loneliness of this theory is crushing. If it is true, you have never really spoken to another human being. You have never been hugged. You have never been heard. Every conversation you remember was a monologue. You were talking to yourself in the dark. You are the ultimate orphan, born from chaos, living in a hallucination, and dying in silence. There is no one to mourn you, because there was no one else to begin with. You are a single tragic note in a silent symphony. Why does this matter? Why should we care about a physics theory? Because it attacks our sense of significance. We want to believe we are part of a grand story, evolution, history, legacy. The Boltzmann brain strips all of that away. It reduces humanity to a glitch, a mistake, a random accident with no meaning and no future. It is the ultimate nihilism. It tells us that we are not the protagonists of reality. We are just temporary noise in the system. But wait, is there a way out? Is there a loophole in the dissolution? Some physicists argue that the Boltzmann Brain Paradox is actually a proof that our current understanding of physics is wrong. It is a reductio ad absurdum. If our theories lead to this conclusion, then our theories must be flawed. The universe cannot be this absurd. The paradox is a signpost saying, "You took a wrong turn." It forces us to search for a new law of physics that favors long-term survival over random fluctuations. We must find the selection principle. We must find the reason why persistence is preferred over randomness. If we don't, we are left with the darkness. The dissolution is the default. Survival is the anomaly. We are fighting against the math. We are screaming into the void, hoping that the echo proves we are real. But the void does not care about our hope. The void only cares about equilibrium. The candle is flickering. The energy is fading. The fluctuation is stabilizing. The screen is getting darker. We are reaching the end of the thought experiment. Now we will look at the reflection. What does it mean to be real? And if we can't trust the universe, can we at least trust ourselves? The final reflection. René Descartes famously said, "Cogito, ergo sum." I think, therefore I am. This is the only safety rope we have left. Even if the universe is a lie, even if your memories are fake, the experience of doubting is real. The pain is real. The fear is real. You might be a Boltzmann brain floating in a void, but you are still feeling something. The fluctuation has created a genuine moment of consciousness. And in a universe dominated by dead matter, that moment, however brief, is a miracle. You are a lighthouse in the dark, even if you are the only one seeing the light. Does it matter if it's fake? If a Boltzmann brain experiences the taste of an apple, and that taste is indistinguishable from a real apple, is the experience less valuable? Reality might just be a word we give to a simulation that doesn't crash. We place so much value on history and origins. We want to know where we came from. But perhaps the origin is irrelevant. The experience is the only thing that exists. You are the universe observing itself for one split second. You are the universe waking up. If you are a Boltzmann brain, you are the god of your own small universe. You created the sun. You created the stars. You created the people you love. They live inside you. When you die, they die. This gives you a terrifying responsibility. It means you must treat the hallucination with respect. You must be kind to the figments of your imagination, because they are part of you. Hating the world is hating yourself. Loving the world is loving yourself. The solipsism isn't a prison. It's a mirror. Maybe this isn't a tragedy. Maybe it's a cycle. In an infinite amount of time, you will appear again. The atoms will collide again. The fluctuation will repeat. You will live this exact second an infinite number of times. This is Nevis, eternal recurrence. You are trapped in this moment forever. So if this is the only second you have, make it a good one. Make it a second worth repeating for eternity. Do not waste your fluctuation on fear. The paradox remains unsolved. We cannot prove we are real. We cannot prove we are not. We are walking on a tightrope over an abyss of uncertainty. but we keep walking. Why? Because the illusion is convincing. Because the coffee smells good. Because the music sounds beautiful. We choose to believe in the lie because the lie is beautiful. We embrace the low entropy illusion. We reject the high entropy truth. We are rebels against the void. We pretend to be eternal, even though we are momentary. Science will keep searching for the selection principle. We will keep looking for the law that proves we are normal observers. But until we find it, we live in the shadow of the Boltzmann brain. It is the ghost that haunts every equation. It is the reminder that we know nothing. We are monkeys on a rock, trying to understand the source code of reality, while the power cord might be pulled at any second. It keeps us humble. It keeps us awake. So take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Is it real air or is it just data? It doesn't matter. You are here. You are thinking. You are the anomaly. You are the impossible thing that happened. In a universe that wants to be dead, you are alive. In a universe that wants to be chaos, you are order. You are the defiance of the void. And that is enough. The probability of you existing is zero. And yet, here you are, defying the math, defying the logic. Perhaps we are not the fluctuation. Perhaps we are the point. The video is ending. The fluctuation is stabilizing. The memory is fading. But the question remains. When the screen goes black, do you still exist? Or was I just talking to myself in the dark?